Alrighty, Chris, we're out here in nature, and obviously we've just been filming some videos. I wanted to sit down with you and ask you some questions.
Sure.
Some candid questions
Go
for
ahead.
people who follow you, want to learn more about you, to get a bit of insight on you, right? So my question for you is, how did you get into this field of work that you're doing now? Like, how did you originally get into it?
Well, kind of happened by accident. I mean, I played music when I was young, piano, and used to sing, and so I was already doing singing, and I was in a band at the time. And I was studying massage, of all things, remedial massage, 2-year course. And I was trading with one of the people in the course, and I was doing the massage, working on his shoulder. And all of a sudden, I just did some sound, because I used to sing, and I did some sound. And he said, "Oh, something just shifted when you did that sound." So I had never thought at that point of doing sound healing or using sound for healing in that sense. Like, I love music and I love singing. And then I just started introducing it more into the body work that I was doing, because I was doing a lot of body work for people. And trusting myself, building my confidence. When I'd get a sense to do a specific sound, I would do that sound, or even move to a certain part of the body and do a certain type of healing work. And it just built and built and built into the point where it's one of the core tools that I use in all my work.
I didn't know you did massage therapy.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
2 years I studied, and I did it for a few years after that. And then I realised I did enjoy it, but that I realised my main thing was working with the energetics and the sound. And
So that was the start of your journey. What are some experiences that you've done over the years for your own healing? Like, what's different modalities or things you've tried, and what have you? Because sound healing is the thing that you do, or the work that you do. What is some modalities or stuff that you've done over the years to kind of work through some of your healing?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of my own dark nights of the soul, severe anxiety, lack of self-worth, lack of feeling safe. I've even experienced when I was younger some bullying when I was in primary school and different things like that. So I guess I came from that place of being, and still am super sensitive, and that's one of the gifts that I have, is being able to harness and work with that sensitivity to bring through healing. But one of the things that I did is, when I was 19, I went to India to see a spiritual teacher. I went with my uncle and aunt, and that had a profound influence on me, and we were doing a lot of chanting there. So I guess I got introduced, well, I wasn't introduced to music, but introduced to the idea of chanting and the power of chanting. So we would spend the mornings and the afternoons chanting, and that had a really healing effect. At the time, I was at a really, really low point. My sister had attempted to take her life earlier. I was going through my severe anxiety, wondering what life's about, what am I here for, all sorts of things. And also had a really positive upbringing as well, so it wasn't all negative, but there was a lot of angst, like, what am I here for? I feel different, I don't feel the same as others, and that sort of feeling like the black sheep. And so that started the healing process, connecting with this teacher, but it was more not just the teacher, but connecting to this presence within, to this place within that was alive, that was beyond the problem, if you like. It wasn't, it was prior to the problem, this what I call the inner hum, or the beingness. Eckhart Tolle talks about the inner energy field, or the inner body. And so it was starting the journey of connecting and feeling that more and more. I already felt it, but it was just exaggerating that. And then, I did all sorts of different healing modalities. I did Vipassana meditation, where you observe the sensations in your body and go around your body, and I did that. I did the work of Byron Katie, where you question your belief systems. I did so many different healing techniques that it would be hard to list them all. I went and had body work for my own processes and received healing from others, and And also connected with one of my recent teachers who passed away 4 years ago, a teacher called Ratu Bagus from Bali, and he was a shaking energy master. So I've been doing this practice for the last 15 years where you shake the body and you wake up the energy. And what the shaking does is the power of the energy that comes through is it goes into the blocks and starts dissolving the places of tension in your body where you've been holding and the old identities that you've been holding on to. So all these different processes, and also spent hours and hours meditating and chanting myself. Sometimes when I was younger I used to spend hours on end just observing my mind, observing what was creating suffering in me. So yeah.
So you've been through quite a life experience.
Yeah.
Different modalities.
Yeah.
But say that, I have this conversation with my clients around mastery, right?
Yeah.
And I think a very great spiritual mentor, teacher, or person you want to work with, they didn't just decide that. They had to go through some sort of pain and healing themselves, a journey in different areas, and still on the path, right?
Absolutely.
For you.
Yeah.
Which, I think this is... I use this example all the time, is people, when you want to work with someone, you want to work with someone who's gone through the shit that haven't gone through just yet.
Yeah.
But's done the work and then has, still on that journey.
Yeah.
But learned so many lessons that they can bring to shorten that journey for you. So they have to go do
And I think, like I say, it's a never-ending journey. It's not like you finally arrive at because life is always expanding, right? So if you've learned a tool, then you can refine that tool, and that's the beauty of it. You can, or you might still you hit different patterns that, oh my God, I remember that pattern, and it's come up. But you have the tools to shift through it, and you don't get stuck in it for as long as you might have once. So I think that's the beauty of someone who's been through stuff, is they can be a guide for someone to help them support it. And having felt like the black sheep and felt like, oh, I have a skill set that people don't understand, or that's not mainstream, and that gives me the desire to help people to step into their genius, whatever that is, and have confidence in that and wake up their own superpower, that it doesn't have to look like anyone else's.
I think it's really a really good share to share that. Question for your manifestation and kind of the work that you do. When I first met you, this is some weird shit, right? It's some, like stuff that you don't really understand until you do it, right? And we've just been out here filming, doing videos, and just kind of listening to the stuff that you do, and it's like hearing the stuff that you're talking about. For someone who's like watching this video or watching other videos, what would you say to someone who just like, they kind of dip in their toe? I mean, I can say it to them, but I'd like to hear it from you. It's like, what would you say to someone? Because like, it's pretty fucking weird shit, right? What would you say to them? What would you help them understand or give them some guidance? We're not trying to convince people to do this stuff. It's more of, if you're open to it, what would you say to those people who are open to it?
I would say just lean into it, go as fast as you want. You might do a breathwork course, you might go to a sound healing, you might go to a manifestation afternoon somewhere, or some kinesiology, which is kind of getting more mainstream, where they muscle test, for different things and what you need and what patterns might be happening. And just go and experience it. And the bottom line for me in all this, whether you're sitting with a spiritual teacher, whether you're doing a specific practice, a breath work or this or that, is, do I feel different? Like, do I feel more calm, more joy, more aligned, more at ease? And, we'll preface that with the fact that some process that you go through can feel worse as you're healing. So you may have, some people have worked with me and at the end of a session they might feel incredible, and other people might say, well, for 2 days I just felt exhausted, or I just had all this stuff come up. Well, it's because it's clearing and moving out of the system. So give it a go at your own pace, and don't trust your own body. Like if there's some teacher that's telling you that this is the way, or this is everyone should do this, trust your own body. If it's aligned for you, your own body will tell you this feels good. If it feels off, then trust that. because breath work might be for a lot of people, but it might not be for some people. Working with this modality might be for some people, but not others.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
What? I'm just seeing a snail, like kind of slowly crawl through the thing. I'm just admiring nature, right?
Do you want to get the snail on camera?
No. Anything else you want to talk about, Chris?
You see that kangaroo over there?
Oh, Skippy. Yeah, I saw one over there in the background. I got it.
Yeah.
Not on your video, but on my phone, I took a panning shot, you, and then the kangaroo zoomed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the goal of those videos is somewhat to create some snippets, but also just to kind of share anything you want to share.
Yeah. I'm sure there's something more. It hasn't popped up yet. Why is sound so powerful in manifestation?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why do you use sound as one of your tools?
Yeah. So, Chris, obviously it's hearing a bit of your journey and your what you've gone through and giving some advice to people who are thinking about doing this work and kind of giving a bit of an insight. Why did you choose sound, or what's important of sound in healing?
Yeah. Well, in my experience, everything in nature is sound and vibration. It all has a specific frequency and a specific pitch. They've measured our organs at different frequencies. There's the earth has a specific frequency. When those frequencies are out of alignment, which is usually because we're holding a negative belief, or maybe we're in a physical environment that has a lot of pollution or a lot of whatever, then those frequencies go out of balance. So the power of sound is, because sound is also frequency and it has a pitch and a vibration, is that it has the power really fast to bring those frequencies back into balance, to bring those energies that are out of whack and bring them back. So it's sort of like a tuning fork tuning another tuning fork. There's experiments where there's one tuning fork and it starts to resonate, and the tuning fork that's miles away resonates. So you want this core frequency, which is, say, and at the moment you're feeling like all out of sorts, but that starts to tune the other frequency. And so that's why when I work with people with the sound element in their manifestation work, it gets people results so much faster, because they're not only going through it as an intellectual exercise, they're actually tuning, they're creating a new song in their body and they're emanating that out. And that's why they receive stuff back, and it can happen so fast. So would you say this is why people listen to certain types of music and it gives them a certain type of feeling? Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And that's why, if people are predominantly, there's no right or wrong about this, but if people are predominantly depressed, for example, they might listen to, for example, something like heavy metal because it gets them stimulated into some anger, so it starts to get them out of that depression. Eventually, for me, like, listening to heavy metal is kind of like a hell realm, right?
Yeah, right.
But they all have their place depending on what you're going through and what you need. So people will resonate to the type of music that either gives them something or is a reflection of where their frequency is at.
It's really interesting about sound, because I listen to different types of music to create different feelings within my body. I listen to like deep focus music, which is usually like piano kind of like stuff, and then there's some bangers that I listen to when they're in the gym. It's like to kind of get that energy going. So
in that instance, you don't necessarily want soft, dreamy music. At the gym, you want something like that gets you going, gets your energy moving. Yeah.
So this has to do with like the frequency they're using, would you say, in the music that they play?
Yeah. And you'll also notice an interesting fact is that Western music works very much in conjunction with the heartbeat. So it's a beat.
Right.
And Eastern music works much more with the breath. So you have this, and it works much more with the, up and down the spine in that way. Whereas Western music has that real, which I love both, but that works more with the heartbeat.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I was going for a healing journey, what would you suggest me to listen to then?
It would really depend on where you're at. As I said, if you were going through a thing where you couldn't get out of bed, I'd probably get you to play something with a really strong beat. Could be some heavier music, or just something that really wakes you up. You know? If you've moved through that, but you're still going through a healing journey, and say you want to soften your energy and start receiving, then I would sort of get you to play, I can't think of an example right now, more subtle music, ethereal music that just like is like a wave coming into your body. And you can go onto YouTube these days and get all sorts of different, frequency music for relaxation, frequency music for confidence, frequency music for healing, and you can even get the specific hertz, So yeah, it would depend where you're at.
So fascinating, understanding sound and the frequency. And what it can tune in on.
But also, I think our own systems, we kind of know to a certain extent what we need. You know what I mean? Like you hear a song and you go, "Oh, that makes me feel that." Then you go for that one, right?
Is this why like some certain meditations can provoke, or like if you do daily meditation practice and you're listening to a certain vibrational sound, like these manifestation meditations, for example, on your YouTube channel and stuff that you do, is that why they work?
Yeah, well, they're coming from a specific frequency. There's also the intention that I have when I create them, and the energy that I create them when I'm making them is also a frequency, right? So if you imagine you have a really focused, clear intention, it's kind of like if I was to do it in a sound form. So that's why it's really important when you're manifesting what energy you're in, because you want to be in a clear energy. If your energy is split and you're all over the place, and then that energy is going into whatever you're creating, whether you're writing a book, whether you're, whatever you're doing. Then the sound itself has a frequency. So you have your intention, which has already has a frequency, and then the specific sounds you're creating. So it's a kind of combination of it all.
Right. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
What would you like? Say someone is thinking of working with you.
Yeah.
And they're looking at YouTube channel, they're watching the content. What would you say to that person who's on that journey of like considering working with you? What would you say to them?
I would say that if you're willing to give it 100% and you're open up to it, you will receive powerful shifts doing this work. Yeah. And that's my criteria, is like if someone's 80% in, doesn't serve them, doesn't serve me. You've got to be in 100% in. You've got to come in. To have skepticism is okay, but cynicism, like I'm coming in cynical, that doesn't work. Yeah. Because it's not fun.
Not the right vibration.
It's not fun for me, and it doesn't get them results. Right. I think I said this in another video, but one of the people that had the quickest results worked with me for 15 minutes. Now they were super open and ready, no resistance, worked in real estate. They were selling houses. They called me or messaged me a week later to say they'd sold 6 houses in a week, and it normally takes a year. So it's really around receptivity. You've got to come with I'm open, and also you have to take responsibility for your own shifts, right? If you come in with an attitude of you fix me, it's like I'm not teaching people that they're broken to start with. I'm teaching people that they're whole and full, and helping people to step into their own leadership. So attitude is so important. Right. And then the shifts are just like,
So they must be open and willing 100%. For these shifts to happen, otherwise it won't happen.
You can come in with doubts, you can come in with stuff that's, all that sort of stuff, but willingness. I'm going to give this everything.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think that's it for the video, Chris.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for sitting down with me.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
What would you tell someone who's just watched this video? What would you tell them to do next?
I'd tell them to do whatever feels good.
Yeah. Maybe there's some links in the description or something like that. That's what I'm saying, Chris.
Oh, sorry. Say it again.
No, we just take that part. Hey, if you watch this video, I'll do the plug for Chris. If you want to work with Chris, there's some links in the description. Find on his YouTube channel and work with him.
Beautiful.
But only if it aligns.
Exactly. If it aligns, if it feels good, your body knows. Do you feel expanded when you think about it? That's a yes. That's the thing I always go with. Do I feel expanded or contracted? Contracted is a no. If my body opens, it's a yes. It's how I make all my decisions.